Welcome folks, this is Wear and Tear, yet another YouTube outdoor and gear review channel. Today I'm gonna compare two flashlights from Wurkkos, the Wurkkos TD04 and the Wurkkos FC12 in a version 2.0. Do some outdoor beam shots. First of all, those lights, this one is a 21700 flashlight and this one is a 18650 powered flashlight. So for 18650 flashlight, the Wurkkos FC12 is on the larger side, and for 21700 powered flashlight, the TD04 is on a more compact and light side. So comparing those two flashlights is not unreasonable, although they have different output powers and different reflectors. This one has a smooth reflector, this one has an orange peel reflector. However, in many other ways they're very similar. They also have both of them have a tactical tail switch, forward clicky, and they have the beautiful electronic sight switch. Now I have them both on tactical mode. That means they always come on in turbo, which simplifies things, and when you press the side button they go down basically to mid mode or 50%. So this is the mid mode. And you can see the FC12 on the right side, you see the TD04 on the left side. So we are near a creek, a beautiful creek. We go in there to bathe and swim in the summer. Right now it's a little bit too refreshing perhaps, but that's a realistic outdoor environment. So let's put them both on turbo. So we see the TD04 completely outperforms the FC12. However, not in terms of range. The FC12 actually has a little bit more of a focused hotspot. It's hard to see in the camera against the snow, but maybe down here in the creek, you clearly see that the FC12 has a more aggressive, more focused hotspot compared to the TD04. But of course the TD04 gives you way more light. I mean, let's just look over there at this fallen tree. And this is with the FC12. Enough light. This is with the TD04. That's just a floodlight. Let's keep walking a little bit. Let me just turn on the TD04 for now. The FC12, I'm using it since well over a year. It's very beloved flashlight actually. A lot of people like it. It's no nonsense. Many people like the focused hotspot. Let's turn on the FC12 now. Many people like that. It's still a general use flashlight. It's not extremely focused. It has a nice spill, but it's definitely made to blind someone. Definitely made for a little bit of range. And the same thing can be said about the TD04 really, but it's a little bit more balanced, a little bit floodier of a light, and it just punches very far because it's just extremely bright. I think the description says something like 3000 lumens. I do doubt it a little bit, or maybe it falls off fast, but it's definitely very, very bright. Now look at that icicle over there. That's a big sucker. Yeah, beautiful winter. Let's compare that with the FC12. So it's the icicle with the FC12 on turbo. This is the icicle with the TD04 on turbo. So both lights. And here you might be able to discern a little bit more focused hotspot. Yeah. Both lights are excellently made. They're absolutely water resistant. I tested that out on both of them. You can theoretically you can go snorkeling with them. That shouldn't be a problem. Shallow water action. So the build quality is very well done. It has gotten better over the last few years for Wurkkos. The TD04 is, let me show you real fast. I mean, the TD04, if you see product pictures for the TD04 on Amazon or so, they're not very good. In reality, I like this coating way more than it doesn't come across very well on the product pictures, but it's a little bit matte It's not glossy, and it's really a very, very grippy light. The same can be said to about the FC12. Also a very grippy light, but to a lesser degree. The TD series in general is the most grippiest series that they ever have made. Well, probably the FC12 looks a little bit, I don't know, it has just a cool design. So, two excellent flashlights. Which one would I take with me? Well, this one is a little bit more EDCable. Although there are more compact 18650 lights, the TD02 even. But I definitely like the TD04. I have had it on a few night shifts. It just has superior... It's just superior in terms of battery life, of course. It has a 5000 milliamps battery. But it's not a big issue compared to FC12. I would take the TD04 probably outdoors. It's just a little bit more useful outdoors. The FC12 is really more like a city tactical light for self-defense, especially now with the tactical mode where it always comes on turbo or on strobe if you push it twice. And this as well. If you push it twice on the tail switch, it comes on in strobe. So they have the same mode basically. The TD04, just like the FC12, also comes on in low mode. Even when it's in the tactical mode group, that means you push the side switch and then you push the tail switch and it comes on in low mode. Which is not an ultra low mode, but a reasonable low mode. But still, the default in tactical mode is simply turbo. The other mode group is activated. You just push this for a couple of seconds and then it blinks, and now you're in the regular mode where you have all the in-between modes. And then it also has mode memory, so it comes on in the mode that you have last used. And this is the same is true for the FC12. We're speaking here about a user interface that is now very well seasoned. It's absolutely practical. Just love it. Those things are real tools, and those flashlights are really giving you a whole lot of bang for the buck. I love them. I use them a lot on night shifts. I also use them out there as a fish. I also use them outdoors, and really I've never had any issues with Wurkkos lights. I mean, one time there was an O-ring missing, but that can happen. Quality control sometimes fails. I had much more problems with Nightcore and Olight lights than with Wurkkos or Sofern for that matter. So yeah, excellent flashlights for a budget price. Beautiful winter, they get nice and warm in hand. There is one issue that I sometimes have with the FC12. The thermal regulation is very aggressive. I've used it to do some plumbing a couple of days ago, and I had it on turbo because, you know, who cares? No time to think about the proper flashlight setting. But then it started to aggressively regulate because, you know, it goes up and down, and that kind of like is a little bit disturbing. It's a very aggressive way of regulating the temperature, active temperature control. I have not yet made that experience with the TD04, but in any case, it's not a deal breaker. It's good to have a thermal regulation because otherwise your flashlights might burn out. And that is what you don't want. A little bit of flickering is not a big deal if you know why it happens and what you can do against it. Just switch it to a mid mode and you're good to go. So the Wurkkos TD04, a wonderful addition to the Wurkkos lineup. Just love me those flashlights. This was Wear and Tear, over and out.